Right now, as you're watching this, millions of seniors are getting ready for bed, completely unaware that their nightly routine is quietly setting them up for a stroke. It's not dramatic, it's not sudden. It's the small things they do every single night that are slowly choking off blood flow to their brain, weakening their arteries, and creating the perfect conditions for disaster. And here's what makes it terrifying. Most of these habits seem harmless. A warm meal, a glass of wine, taking your medication, going straight to bed when you're tired. Normal, everyday actions that doctors now know can raise your stroke risk by more than 300% over time. The scariest part? You won't feel it happening. There's no pain, no warning signs, just silent damage building up night after night while you sleep. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on 5 bedtime habits that are secretly destroying the health of seniors across the country. Some of these you've probably been doing for decades without a second thought. But by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why they need to stop, and more importantly, what to do instead. Because here's the truth most doctors won't tell you. Your evening routine is either protecting your brain or putting it at risk. There's no middle ground. Every choice you make in those final hours before sleep is sending a message to your cardiovascular system, and that message determines whether you wake up stronger or closer to a crisis. Let's start with the most common mistake of all. Number 1, eating a heavy meal late at night. Picture this. It's 8:30 at night. You've had a long day, and you finally sit down to a hearty dinner. Chicken, potatoes, maybe some bread on the side. You finish your plate, feel satisfied, and within an hour or two, you're climbing into bed. Millions of seniors do this every single night, and every single night, their bodies are staging a quiet emergency that most of them will never notice until it's too late. Here's what's really happening inside your body when you eat a heavy meal close to bedtime. The moment food hits your stomach, your digestive system kicks into overdrive. It needs blood and lots of it to break down everything you just ate. So your body makes a choice. It redirects blood away from other areas, including your brain, and sends it rushing toward your stomach and intestines. Now, if you're young and your blood vessels are flexible, this isn't a big deal. But if you're over 70, your arteries are already stiffer, less elastic, and struggling to handle sudden changes in blood flow. When you force your body to digest while lying down, you're asking your cardiovascular system to work overtime in the worst possible position. Blood pressure spikes. Inflammation flares up in the arteries around your brain. And those tiny, delicate vessels that feed oxygen to your most vital organ, they're getting squeezed, stressed, and damaged. Recent research has revealed something chilling. People who eat their last meal after 9 p.m. have a 28% higher chance of experiencing a stroke compared to those who finish dinner before 8. That's not a small difference. That's the gap between walking into your 80s with a sharp mind and ending up in a hospital bed, unable to speak or move half your body. But the immediate spike in blood pressure isn't even the worst part. The real danger is what happens over time. Every night you eat late and go straight to bed, you're creating microscopic tears in your blood vessels. Think of it like bending a wire back and forth. At first, nothing happens, but keep doing it, and eventually that wire snaps. The same thing happens to your arteries. They weaken, they crack, and those cracks become breeding grounds for clots. Tiny clots that can travel straight to your brain. And if you're eating the wrong foods on top of all this, you're pouring gasoline on the fire. Salty snacks, processed meals, canned soups, instant noodles, all of these are loaded with sodium. When you eat them before bed, your body holds on to water. Your blood pressure shoots up even higher. And your already stressed vessels are pushed to their breaking point. You might wake up with swollen hands or a puffy face and think it's no big deal. But that swelling is your body screaming at you that something is very wrong. Here's what you need to do instead. Finish your last real meal at least 3 hours before you lie down. Give your body time to digest properly while you're still upright and moving around. If you get hungry later in the evening, don't ignore it, but be smart about what you eat. A banana, a small bowl of oatmeal, or a handful of unsalted nuts. These foods give your body gentle fuel without triggering that dangerous blood pressure surge. And here's something most people don't realize. It's not just about when you eat, it's about what you eat. If your dinner is full of salt, fat, and processed ingredients, It doesn't matter if you eat it at 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. You're still flooding your system with compounds that thicken your blood, inflame your vessels, and set you up for a stroke. So clean up your plate. More vegetables, less sodium, real food instead of packaged garbage. Your brain will thank you for it. But even if you nail your eating schedule, there's another habit that's even more dangerous, and it's something millions of seniors do every night without thinking twice. You might think that glass of wine before bed is helping you relax, but what it's actually doing to your blood vessels while you sleep is nothing short of catastrophic. Number 2, drinking alcohol before bed. Let's talk about something that's practically woven into the culture of aging in this country. The evening drink. A glass of wine with dinner, a nightcap of whiskey to unwind, a beer while watching the evening news. For so many seniors, it's not just a habit, it's a ritual. Something comforting, something that supposedly helps you sleep better. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. Because while you're sipping that drink and feeling relaxed, your cardiovascular system is preparing for a night of chaos. Alcohol is one of the most deceptive substances when it comes to your heart and brain. In the moment, it feels like it's doing good things. Your muscles relax, your mind quiets down, and you start to feel drowsy. That's because alcohol dilates your blood vessels temporarily. It makes you feel warm, calm, even a little euphoric. But here's the trap. That feeling doesn't last. The second your liver starts processing the alcohol, everything reverses. Your blood vessels, which were relaxed and open, suddenly constrict. They tighten up hard and fast. And when that happens while you're asleep, your blood pressure doesn't just rise, it swings wildly throughout the night. Up and down, like a roller coaster your arteries were never designed to handle. These wild fluctuations put enormous stress on the walls of your blood vessels, especially the small, fragile ones in your brain. Every spike is another chance for a clot to form. Every crash is another moment where your brain might not be getting enough oxygen, and you're completely unconscious through all of it, totally unaware that your body's fighting for balance. But it gets worse. Alcohol doesn't just mess with your blood pressure. It destroys the quality of your sleep. You might fall asleep faster after drinking, that's true. But you're not getting the deep, restorative sleep your body desperately needs. Alcohol blocks REM sleep and keeps you in the lighter stages. The stages where your heart rate doesn't stabilize and your blood pressure doesn't drop the way it should. During deep sleep, your body is supposed to repair itself. Your heart rate slows down, your blood pressure lowers, and your brain clears out toxins that build up during the day. But when alcohol disrupts that process, none of that happens. You wake up feeling groggy, your inflammation levels stay high, and the damage to your arteries just keeps piling up. Year after year, drink after drink, the lining of your blood vessels gets more and more scarred. And here's something that should terrify every senior who takes medication. Alcohol doesn't play nice with pills. If you're on blood pressure medication, cholesterol drugs, or blood thinners, adding alcohol to the mix can amplify the danger exponentially. It can make your medication less effective, or worse, it can cause dangerous interactions that spike your stroke risk even higher. Even one small glass too close to bedtime can throw everything off balance. Research shows that people who drink regularly before bed have higher rates of hypertension, irregular heart rhythms, and yes, strokes. And it doesn't take much. We're not just talking about heavy drinkers here. Even moderate, socially acceptable amounts of alcohol can slowly erode your cardiovascular health if you're consuming it every night. The science is clear. Your body needs stable, calm conditions to recover overnight. Alcohol is the opposite of that. It's chemical turbulence. So what should you do instead? If you love the ritual of winding down with a drink, replace it with something that actually supports your body. Herbal tea, chamomile, valerian root, passion flower. These can help you relax without wrecking your circulation. Warm milk with a little honey. Even just a glass of water with lemon. Find something that gives you that same sense of comfort and routine, but without the hidden cost. And if you're someone who's been drinking before bed for years, don't be discouraged. Your body's incredibly resilient. The moment you stop introducing alcohol into your system at night, your blood vessels start to recover. Your sleep quality improves. Your blood pressure stabilizes. The benefits start showing up faster than you'd think. But here's the thing. Most seniors don't just have one bad habit, They stack them. Late meals, evening drinks, and then there's the next mistake, one that involves the very medications that are supposed to be keeping them safe. Number 3, taking blood pressure medicine right before bed. Here's a question most seniors never think to ask their doctor. Does it matter when I take my pills? The answer is yes. It matters more than you could possibly imagine. And yet, millions of older adults are taking their blood pressure medication at exactly the wrong time, turning something that should protect them into something that quietly puts them at risk every single night. Let's be clear about one thing first. Blood pressure medication saves lives. If your doctor prescribed it, you need to take it. But here's what most people don't understand. When you take it matters just as much as whether you take it. And if you're popping your pills right before you climb into bed, you might be setting yourself up for something called nocturnal hypotension. That's medical speak for blood pressure that drops too low while you sleep, and it's far more dangerous than most people realize. Think about what happens when you lie down. Gravity is no longer pulling blood down toward your feet. Your heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump blood to your brain. Your blood pressure naturally drops a little bit, and that's normal. That's healthy. But when you add a strong blood pressure medication to that equation right before bed, you're not getting a gentle dip. You're getting a plunge. Your blood pressure can fall so low that your brain isn't getting enough oxygen-rich blood to function properly. And the terrifying part? You won't feel it happening. You'll just lie there, thinking you're peacefully asleep while your brain is slowly being starved. Over time, this damages the small arteries in your brain. It weakens them, makes them brittle, and dramatically increases your risk of having a stroke. In fact, doctors have discovered something chilling. A huge number of strokes happen between 5 and 7 in the morning. That's not random. That's because your blood pressure has been dangerously low all night. And when your body starts waking up and your pressure begins to rise again, those weakened vessels can't handle the sudden change. They burst or they get blocked by a clot that formed during those low-pressure hours. It's like turning on a frozen pipe too fast. Something's going to break. And here's where it gets even more complicated. Many seniors aren't just taking one medication. They're taking 5, 6, 7 different pills. Blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication, maybe something for diabetes, maybe a muscle relaxant or a sleep aid. When you mix all of these together and take them right before bed, you're creating a chemical cocktail that can dangerously slow your heart rate, drop your blood pressure into the danger zone, and leave your cardiovascular system struggling to keep up. If you have a history of heart rhythm problems, if you've ever felt dizzy or fainted, if you wake up feeling groggy or with headaches, these are warning signs that your nighttime medication routine might be doing more harm than good. So what's the solution? First, talk to your doctor. Don't just change your medication schedule on your own, but have an honest conversation about timing. Depending on what you're taking, your doctor might recommend that you take your blood pressure pills in the morning, or right after dinner instead of right before bed. The goal is to keep your blood pressure stable throughout the entire day and night, not to create dramatic swings that stress your system. Second, keep a log. Write down when you take your medications, how you feel when you wake up, and any symptoms you notice throughout the day. Bring that information to your doctor. It gives them real data to work with, and it can help them fine-tune your treatment plan to protect you better. Third, use a pill organizer. It sounds simple, but it works. When you have a clear system for managing your medications, you're less likely to double dose, skip doses, or take things at the wrong time. Consistency is everything when it comes to keeping your blood pressure stable. Your body needs steady, predictable circulation to keep your brain healthy, not wild swings, not sudden drops in the middle of the night. Balance is what protects you. But even if you get your medication timing perfect, there's another invisible threat lurking in your bedroom. And it has nothing to do with pills or food. It's something you carry with you from the living room to the bedroom. Something you think you're leaving behind when you close your eyes. But your body knows better. Number 4, going to bed angry or stressed. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you went to bed angry, or anxious, or replaying an argument in your head over and over? Maybe it was something your spouse said. Maybe it was bad news you heard on TV. Maybe it was just the weight of everything you're worried about. Money, health, family, and all of it swirling around in your mind as you lie there in the dark. Here's what most people think. When I fall asleep, all of that goes away. My body shuts down, my mind turns off, and I get a break from the stress. But that's not how it works, not even close. When you carry anger, anxiety, or unresolved tension into bed with you, your body doesn't just ignore it. It floods your bloodstream with stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, chemicals that are designed to help you fight or run away from danger. And those chemicals don't care that you're lying still in bed. They do their job anyway. They tighten your blood vessels, they speed up your heart rate, and they keep your blood pressure elevated all night long. Imagine your arteries as flexible tubes that are supposed to relax and widen while you sleep, letting blood flow smoothly to every part of your body, especially your brain. But when cortisol is pumping through your system, those tubes stay clenched. They stay narrow and rigid. And when blood is forced through narrow, rigid vessels for hours on end, something bad is going to happen. For seniors whose arteries are already less flexible than they used to be, this is the perfect recipe for a stroke. High cortisol levels all night long mean your vessels never get a chance to relax. Small clots can form more easily in those tight spaces. And if you already have high blood pressure or diabetes, the damage happens even faster. You might not feel any of this after one stressful night, but after months, years, decades of going to bed tense and waking up exhausted, the cumulative damage is staggering. Your brain tissue starts to deteriorate, your cognitive abilities decline, and your stroke risk climbs higher and higher. But here's the part that really should scare you. Stress doesn't just keep your blood pressure high, it destroys your sleep quality. You might think you're sleeping through the night, but your body knows better. You're waking up multiple times, even if you don't remember it. Little micro-awakenings that pull you out of deep sleep and keep you hovering in the lighter stages. And during those light stages, your blood pressure doesn't drop the way it's supposed to. Every night, your body is supposed to go through a process called nocturnal dipping. Your blood pressure is supposed to drop by about 10 to 20% while you sleep. That dip is essential. It's when your heart gets to rest, when your arteries get to recover from the strain of the day, when your brain gets to clear out the toxins that built up while you were awake. But when stress keeps you in light, fragmented sleep, that dip never happens. Your body stays in a low-grade state of emergency all night long. Inflammation levels stay high, your vessels stay stiff, and over time, this accelerates every single cardiovascular problem you can think of: cognitive decline, dementia, heart disease, and yes, stroke. The connection between your mind and your heart is deeper than most people realize. When you're stressed, your brain and your blood vessels suffer together. Going to bed angry doesn't just ruin your mood. It taxes your arteries, clouds your memory, and quite literally shortens your life. So what can you do about it? The answer isn't to eliminate stress. That's impossible. Life is stressful, especially as you get older. But you can learn to release that stress before you lie down. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Start with your breath. Slow, deep breathing for just 5 minutes before bed can lower your blood pressure almost immediately. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, breathe out for 6. Do this while you sit on the edge of your bed and feel your body start to let go. Try listening to calming music. Not the TV news, not a crime show, actual calming sounds. Instrumental music, nature sounds, something that tells your nervous system it's safe to relax. Or try gratitude. Keep a small notebook by your bed and write down one good thing that happened during the day. It doesn't have to be big, just one thing. So this simple act trains your brain to focus on safety and calm instead of threat and stress. And if you went to bed angry at someone, deal with it before you lie down. Have the hard conversation. Say you're sorry. Let it go. Holding on to anger overnight is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. You're the one who pays the price. Remember, your heart and your mind are connected. The emotional state you bring into your bedroom has real physical consequences. Releasing tension before sleep isn't just good for your mental health. It's one of the most powerful ways to protect your brain and prevent a stroke. But there's one more habit we need to talk about, and it's the one that ties all of this together. Number 5, sleeping right after a heavy meal. Let's bring it all together now, because this next habit is where everything we've been talking about collides into one dangerous, preventable mistake. It's something almost every senior has done at some point, You eat dinner, you feel full, maybe even a little too full. You're tired. The couch looks inviting. So you sit down, maybe watch a little TV, and before you know it, you're lying flat on your back, drifting off to sleep. It feels natural. It feels harmless. But what's happening inside your body at that moment is anything but harmless. When you lie down right after eating, especially after a big meal, you're forcing your digestive system to work in the worst possible position. Gravity is no longer helping move food through your stomach and intestines. Everything slows down. Digestion becomes sluggish. And stomach acid, which is supposed to stay in your stomach, starts creeping upward toward your throat. That burning sensation you might feel, that's acid reflux. But the real damage isn't the discomfort, it's the inflammation. When acid repeatedly irritates the lining of your esophagus, it triggers an inflammatory response throughout your upper body. That inflammation spreads to your blood vessels. It causes your blood sugar levels to spike. It makes your blood thicker, stickier, harder to pump. And all of this is happening while you're lying flat, while your heart is trying to rest, while your brain is supposed to be clearing out toxins and repairing itself. Instead, your cardiovascular system is under siege. Studies have shown that people who regularly lie down right after meals experience massive swings in their blood pressure during sleep. For younger people with flexible, healthy arteries, the body can usually handle it. But for seniors whose vessels are already stiff and fragile, these pressure swings are like taking a hammer to glass. Eventually, something's going to crack. And here's what most people don't realize. Lying down after eating doesn't just affect your stomach and your blood pressure. It messes with your metabolism. Your pancreas and liver are forced to work overtime, processing all that food while you're horizontal. Glucose floods into your bloodstream faster than your body can handle it. Your insulin levels spike. And over time, this pattern creates insulin resistance, a condition that accelerates vascular aging and dramatically increases stroke risk. Think about what's happening at the cellular level. Your blood is becoming thick with sugar and fat. Your vessels are inflamed and constricted. Your heart is struggling to push all of that through your system. And your brain, which depends on clean, oxygen-rich blood to survive, is getting a contaminated supply. Night after night, this silent assault continues. You don't feel it, you don't see it, but it's happening. And the consequences build up slowly until one day they explode all at once. So here's the rule you need to follow, and it's non-negotiable if you want to protect your brain. Wait at least 2 to 3 hours after your last meal before you lie down. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care how comfortable that bed looks. Give your body time to digest while you're still upright. Take a walk around the house, sit in a chair and read. Do some light stretching. Keep moving even if it's gentle until your stomach has had time to process your meal. And if you absolutely need to eat something close to bedtime, choose wisely. A handful of unsalted almonds, a banana, a small bowl of plain oatmeal. These foods are light, easy to digest, and they stabilize your blood sugar instead of spiking it. They give your body what it needs without overwhelming your system. Over time, you'll notice the difference. You'll sleep better, you'll wake up with more energy, your morning blood pressure readings will be lower, and you'll be giving your arteries the break they desperately need to heal and stay strong. But let's be honest, most seniors aren't just making one of these mistakes, they're making several. They're eating late, drinking alcohol, lying down too soon, carrying stress into bed, and taking their medications at the wrong time. And when you stack all of these habits together, you're not just increasing your stroke risk, you're practically guaranteeing it, which brings us to some additional risks that often fly under the radar. Before we wrap this up, there are a few more things you need to know. Habits that might seem minor but can tip the scales when combined with everything else we've talked about. First, your sleep schedule. If you're going to bed at different times every night, 9 p.m. one night, midnight the next, 10:30 the night after that, you're confusing your body's internal clock. Your cardiovascular system thrives on routine. When your sleep schedule is all over the place, your blood pressure never finds its rhythm. Research shows that irregular sleep patterns increase heart problems, even if you're getting enough total sleep. Stick to a schedule. Same bedtime, same wake-up time, every single day. Your body will thank you for the consistency. Second, caffeine. If you're drinking coffee, tea, or soda in the evening, even if it's 6 hours before bed, you're sabotaging your sleep quality. Caffeine blocks the chemicals in your brain that make you feel sleepy, and it keeps your nervous system more active than it should be overnight. That means higher heart rate, higher blood pressure, and less deep sleep. Cut off all caffeine by early afternoon if you want to give your body a fighting chance. Third, your bedroom environment. If your room is too hot, your body has to work harder to cool itself down, which keeps your heart rate elevated and prevents deep sleep. Aim for a cool room, somewhere between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Your body sleeps best when it's slightly cool. And finally, understand this: all of these habits compound. One bad habit might raise your stroke risk by 20%. But when you combine late eating, alcohol, stress, poor medication timing, and lying down too soon, you're not just adding those risks together, you're multiplying them. That's how you get to that 300% increased risk we talked about at the beginning. Each habit makes the others worse. So let's bring this home. Every single night, right before you close your eyes, your body enters one of its most critical phases. Your heart rate is supposed to slow. Your blood pressure is supposed to drop. Your brain is supposed to flush out toxins and repair damage from the day. Your blood vessels are supposed to relax and recover. This is when healing happens. This is when your body rebuilds itself, preparing you to wake up stronger, sharper, and healthier than you were the day before. But if your habits are interfering with that process, the damage builds quietly. You don't feel it after one bad night, but over months and years, the consequences become crystal clear. Slower thinking, weaker circulation, memory problems, and a stroke risk that climbs higher with every passing day. Here's the truth most doctors won't say out loud. Most strokes aren't caused by bad luck. They're caused by patterns. Small, repeated choices that slowly break down your body's natural defenses. And the good news, the truly life-changing news, is that it's never too late to change those patterns. Whether you're 60, 75, or 90 years old, your brain still responds to care. Your blood vessels still heal when you give them the right conditions. Your heart still gets stronger when you treat it with respect. Protecting yourself doesn't always mean adding something new to your routine. Sometimes it means removing what's been hurting you all along. If you can focus on just 3 things: keeping your evenings peaceful, keeping your meals lighter and earlier, and keeping your emotions steady before sleep, you'll be doing more to prevent a stroke than most medications ever could. Every choice you make before bed is a message to your body. It's either a message that says rest, heal, grow stronger, or it's a message that says struggle, survive, hold on for one more night. You get to decide which message you're sending. And if you've been sending the wrong message for years, don't beat yourself up. Just start sending a different one tonight. Change one habit, just one. Finish dinner earlier, skip the nightcap. Take 5 minutes to breathe and let go of the day's stress. That's all it takes to start turning things around. And once you see how much better you feel, once you notice that you're waking up clearer and stronger, you'll want to change the next habit, and then the next, until your entire evening routine becomes a protective shield around your brain instead of a slow assault on your health. Your life doesn't have to end with a stroke. Your mind doesn't have to fade. Your independence doesn't have to disappear. You have more control than you think, and it all starts with what you do tonight, in those quiet hours before you close your eyes. So take this seriously. Share this information with someone you love. And most importantly, make the change. Not tomorrow, not next week, tonight. Because every night you wait is another night your brain doesn't get the protection it deserves. Thank you for watching. If this video opened your eyes to something you didn't know before, leave a comment below and tell us which habit you're going to change first. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to take action in their own life. And if you found this helpful, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. We're here to give you the truth about your health, the information that could save your life or the life of someone you love. Take care of yourself, protect your brain, and we'll see you in the next one.